She's a pretty senorita, and they don't get any sweeter than that pretty senorita. She's a pretty senorita. Oh yeah. Anyway, it's part two. We're gonna have some parts to this Hispanic, black video understanding or whatever. Blacks and Hispanics of today. Maybe I'll call it that. But in the first video, we basically talked about Hispanic children, or Latin children. Right now, I want to speak on how I came to California. I live in California. I've been living in California for a while now. And how Hispanics had something to do with that. And basically, the way that worked was I met a little Latin girl by the name of Patty. She was Guatemalan. She had some friends, and they were from Mexico. But most of her friends or people were Guatemalans. There's some issues between Guatemalans and Hispanic people. They have issues between themselves. And some of it is very, very violent, competitive. Hispanic people have, they can be kind of cliquish and sort of tribal. And the Guatemalans, they tend to be a little bit more warmer to black people as a whole. Because they got more black blood in them, whatever. But this Patty could barely speak a word of English when I met her. I had to give a presentation when I got here to the Disney Corporation. And the long bus ride going to the Disney Corporation from where I was living in West LA, we struck up a conversation. She wanted to speak, she had the desire to talk, but she really didn't have a large vocabulary, and we sort of struggled between each other, and we sign language and everything, but we got across the fact that I had just come here, and, she was a pretty nice person, we should stay in contact. So me and Patty became friends. We spoke on the phone together for about 5 years between each other, back and forth 5 years, until it came to the point where she said, her English improved drastically. Probably what she was keeping me as a friend for, as well as just my personality, my charming personality. Anyway, Patty, she invited me out. I finally came out to California. Funny story, when I was coming, I was initially supposed to stay with Patty's boyfriends. He had a couple of guys staying in the house with him. They were going to let me bunk with them for a while. So it was like a hostage situation. Anyway, the last minute, there was a change of plans. I don't know, maybe they figured and found out I was a big black guy. I don't know. But anyway, they changed their mind on the last day. Patty told me, hey, look, Greg, I want you to come, but we're going to have an issue about where you're going to be staying at, because the guys that you were supposed to stay with in the valley, which I didn't know what a valley was. I mean, I knew physically what a valley was, but I didn't know what it was when I was from my hometown. So they told me that I had to figure something else out. So what they decided to do, they were going to throw me a party. And this party was going to start at about 10 or 11 LA time, which is a 3-hour difference from where I'm from originally. So by the time I got to LA, catching the bus and everything, the plane and everything, plane ride, I was totally exhausted. And what happened was they were throwing me this party. I couldn't even stay up for the party because about 10 o'clock their time would have been about 12 or something, or 1 o'clock my time. And I was wasted. It took so much for me to even come to LA that I was just totally wore out. So I asked them if I had to go to sleep. I can't, you know. They told me to go back in the bedroom and go to sleep before the party started. My party. You know, Latin people love to party. They're party animals. So all I remember is I went to bed at the party and I woke up the next morning. And when I woke up the next morning, Patty had 2 other girlfriends. And this is a true story. This is a crazy true story. But Patty and her friends, she had a friend named Patty. She was from Guatemala, and they had another friend who was from Mexico. They all stayed together in this 1-bedroom apartment. I ended up waking up in the bed with all 3 of these women. We didn't even have a sexual relationship or anything like that. There was no hanky-panky. But I woke up in the bed with these 3 beautiful, I say beautiful, I mean beautiful Latin women. Young, beautiful Latino women. I woke up in the bed with all 3 of them, all around me, surrounding me, in a 1-bedroom, in 1 bed, all in the same bed. I don't know if they tried to get me up or not.